If you are here for jokes, look somewhere else. This is a rant video. Before you ask, the microphone I normally use is broken, so I'm using the text-to-speech programs. The reason for my latest video is to talk about the new Blazblue Cross Tag Battle game. As you already have probably heard, the game is so easy that it can make any kind of player look like a professional player. Therein lay the problem. The game is too easy, and it encourages people to play stupidly and be rewarded for it. Any veteran from the predecessing games can tell you with certainty that playing that way is the easiest way to lose. But in BBCTB that kind of tactic is encouraged. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, then I can give you some examples. The first example is push blocking. None of the previous games had push blocking before, and there was a reason for it. Characters who have short range struggle to get in close, however with enough perseverance, a close-range character can get close and engage in their attack strings. But that goes out the fucking window when a person decides to push block me across the damn screen. And that's not even the worst part about it. I could be in the middle of an attack string, then be pushed, blocked, and left wide open. Absolutely disgusting. The second example is the single input DP. For the newbies who aren't familiar with the term, it stands for Dragon Punch, and it's a move where you are invincible throughout the duration of the technique. In any other game, you'd have to do a complicated input to do a DP, meaning that you had to plan it ahead of time. Doing a DP recklessly usually winds up costing you the match, which is why it isn't done so casually. But in cross tag it's easy to do, and if you wanted to, you can make it safe by calling your assist. That is a problem, ladies and gentlemen, since DP attacks are the only true anti-air moves. That is a major problem since this game has unfair frame traps where you can keep people in the air then DP them. It's not cool, and it's an issue that people take advantage of. The only truly good thing about the game is the online lobby design. Seriously, I'm not kidding. The online lobby design had upgraded significantly since Blazblue Central Fiction and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Before, there were just 2D models that looked like pixelated baby versions of the characters you used. I can honestly say that the online lobby is probably the best feature in the Blazblue Cross Tag Battle. The third and last example of this broken game is the tag burst, or better known as the get out of jail free card move. When an opponent is under attack and they are either blocking an attack or being hit, they can immediately switch in their characters and cause a hard knockdown in exchange for the entire tag gauge. That sounds like a fair trade at first, but when you add the first two examples into consideration, the odds don't seem very even. The options after a tag burst aren't really fair either. Grabbing and staying close are trumped by push blocking and DP attacks. It's not a very good system, and players take advantage of it and claim that it's fine. If you support this kind of mechanic, then that's your personal preference. Just know that if you do prefer this kind of gameplay, then you won't stand a chance in the other fighting games that these characters come from. I don't hate the game, I just hate the mechanics. A game can have a simple control schematic and can be rewarding both in terms of winning or losing. The main issue is that players don't learn from their mistakes in this game. On the contrary, the mechanics encourage reckless tactics, and any mistake made is immediately dismissed. And for the small percentage of players that are trying to actually make this game competitive, you have an uphill battle. I'm sorry to say, but the game is designed in a way where scrubs and newbies thrive. I would only recommend this game if you're bored. The only truly good thing about the game is the online lobby design. Seriously, I'm not kidding. The online lobby design had upgraded significantly since Blazblue Central Fiction and Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. Before, there were just 2D models that looked like pixelated baby versions of the characters you used. I can honestly say that the online lobby is probably the best feature in the Blazblue Cross Tag Battle. I know some people will argue that this game is a clusterfuck of games being mixed together and that this game was arguably a rushed project. But that's no excuse to make a game so easy that a 5-year-old can pick it up and beat someone who is experienced. There's been enough time to rectify that error and make the game control schematic more technical. And really, that's what it comes down to in these types of games: experience. Learning as you play a game is literally one of the most enjoyable and satisfying things that can be accomplished in video games. Being rewarded for time and effort invested in learning a character is one of the reasons why fighting games is respected and liked in the video game community. One of the more problematic issues is there is a surplus players only want to win. Those types of players normally quit when they realize the wall is too high for them to jump over, and the fat trims itself from the steak. I can sympathize with some players, since there are those who want to get good, but don't take the time to become better. That isn't a major issue, but if that's the case, then why bother playing at all? Fights aren't just about whining, and there's evidence to support that claim. I won't be biased and say this game is broken, because it isn't. It's the mechanics that make the game broken, and whether people realize it or not, it's toxic, and it creates toxic players. However, it has come to my attention that the results of hard work was replaced with a notion that adversity is a sign that the game is impossible. It's not, and anyone who thinks that shouldn't play fighting games at all. The whole point of playing these types of games is to feel the satisfaction of hard work. Disliking or complaining about a game, whose only real difficulty literally depends on how well you know how to play. I repeat, these types of games are only as hard as you allow them to be. There are no shortcuts when it comes to fighting. You win some and you lose some. There's other things I really hate about Blazblue Cross Tag Battle, like you don't learn anything. The only thing that is taught from the door is the matchup between characters. I don't enjoy beating up newbies like they owe me money. It's not fun. It gets boring extremely fast, and they only quote-unquote smart players are scrubs that take advantage of the Yankee system and use characters that benefit the most from it, like Ruby, Gordo, Mai, Narukami, Vatista, Carmine, and Hyde. These characters dominate since they have everything they need to be versatile in every situation, while Arc's system works told everyone else to go fuck off and deal with it. While it might be considered trolling, I prefer to outsmart the people who think they hold a candle to me. Since this game is filled with idiots who either have no motor functions, or have no sense of self-preservation. But that's only as fun as it gets, since being smarter than your opponent can guarantee the fight before it even begins. Take these replays for example. The players I'm fighting are either Diamond or Master rank, yet they play as though nothing bad will happen to them if they keep pushing buttons. This is not how you fight, and if you do, you better hope that your opponent is dumber than you. Of all the things that I have listed so far, there is only one thing that disgusts me more than my Natsam's gender bender novel that confused weebs love reading. It's not the scrubs that run rampart in the game, it's not the poor game design that newbies are okay with, it's how half the moves for most of the roster are cut out and how some nerfed in unfair ways. That's not funny, nor is it consistent, since many characters need all of their moves in order to fight properly. This falls back to what I said about technicality, because certain characters can't fight without certain moves. This act has put many characters in an array of unwritten categories, inadvertently causing them to be paired with certain characters. What would motivate any developer to do this, is literally beyond my mortal comprehension. Hey genius, what if I put two people who I like on the same team, and those two characters are incompatible with each other? If you believe that learning a compatible character is the answer, then you're a scrub that follows consensus. Nobody in their right mind would ever want to use a character they don't like. That defeats the whole purpose of a fighting game in general. So far, the Under Night characters have their moves and their unique abilities in Cross Tag. Why can't the same be done for Persona and Blazblue? It's not fair, nor is it comprehensible as to why such favoritism is allowed. For example, in Under Night, the unique ability Vatista has prevents her from being counter-hit. Why does she have it in this game? Mind you, that is just one example of how busted the mechanics are. Not only that, it's bad design all around. Who would want to stomach such a one-sided game? With that, I hope I made my point clear. If this game ever becomes technical, I'll return to it. But until then, I refuse to play. Here is one replay that shows how good the Under Night characters are compared to the others. Waldstein is mid-tier in his game, yet he can pound these women so hard that you can put the Pornhub logo on the replay and nobody would even question it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the many issues that cause this game to be not fun. Seriously, just think about it. Why do the Under Night characters have all their abilities in the game? Along with push blocking, instant DP, cross tag bursts, and one button combos? If anyone can explain to me how that is fair, then I will gladly play the game again. Until then, have fun on this monstrosity of a video game. Thank you for watching.